Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. All of the XRP chart analysts that I follow said that XRP was about to rocket. They all said so within the last several days, roughly speaking. They said this is roughly the moment in time. Some of them even said on the day that it was about, that it actually ultimately did launch, that it might even be that day. That's how clear it was in the charts that this was going to happen. You do not normally see this many talented, reputable chart analysts coming to the same or similar conclusion, but in my experience, when that happens, then what they believe is going to happen almost always does. And it sure as heck did here. Unquestionably, that's the case. Now, you might be wondering, given that's the case, and XRP apparently it's entered price discovery, right? Well, what's with the pullback? We hit a new all-time high. We entered price discovery, right? XRP got up to a high, an all-time high, yesterday of $3.65. So what gives? It's only $3.43 now, and it got as low as, I think it was $3.35. Let me take a look. It got down as low as $3.31. Oh no, I think I take that back. Actually, that was before it had hit its all-time high. After the all-time high, it got as low as, according to Live Coin Watch, yeah, okay, so it was $3.35. So what's going on here? Is XRP still looking okay? Is this normal? Why is it taking a little pit stop here? Shouldn't we see tremendous strength? Well, the short answer is yes, this is normal and everything is fine. I'm going to share with you perspective from a ton of XRP chart analysts here. XRP cannot and will not perfectly go up in a straight line. So we'll discuss the reasons why. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, as I record this video, it is 3:18 p.m. Central Time, Friday, July 18th, 2025. XRP $3.43 as I record this. Bitcoin down to $117,355, and that's a notable part of the reason that you're seeing what you're seeing as far as XRP price, because it follows what happens with the rest of the market. Very frequently, if Bitcoin goes down, so does XRP. And so Bitcoin had a 24-hour high of almost $21,000. It's now $117,355. This is the 24-hour chart on your screen. So the fact that XRP roughly moved in tandem after having an impulsive move to the upside, which was quite genuine and organic, not surprising. It does not mean this party is over, and it sure as hell is not. Absolutely not. And the fact that we dipped below the $3.40 all-time high, previous all-time high today, that doesn't negate anything. Just that little deviation there, that doesn't mean that we're no longer in this price discovery mode. This is normal. I'll just tell you this. The XRP chart analysts that I follow, they all called, every single one of them, with, I don't know if there's any exceptions to that actually off the top of my head. I have to go through the list, I suppose, but they pretty much all called that XRP would break out in 2024. They were right about that. They went against the grain. They were correct. It was a minority position at the time. They all insisted that after consolidation, XRP would pick up. In unison, they all just about perfectly picked out the time when it was going to happen based on what was happening in the charts. And they've been right about all of that. And I'm telling you that they're all insisting XRP is absolutely going to continue. And they're not wavering on that. This is not a time to be fearful just because it pulled back. This thing's going to rocket. And that's a virtual certainty here. Somebody asked Credible Crypto this question: is XRP still looking okay? And there's lots of this. This is just one example. There are lots of people wondering, wait a minute, is it still okay? It's pulled back. It's supposed to be going, right? It should be like $4 plus, right? Well, not so fast, folks. Here's what Credible Crypto said. He's one of the best in the biz so far as I'm concerned. He shared this with his 471,000 followers. Credible Crypto said, XRP looks great. I'm literally praying for a deep pullback so I can get a nice long opportunity. You have nothing to worry about as a holder at this point. And keep in mind, we are not seeing top indicators for this market cycle. It doesn't make sense to be fearful here. When we see top indicators, I will be screaming about it on this channel. I promise you that. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Zoom, and this is from this morning. XRP has had its highest daily close ever at $3.46. Now, that is strength. Closing above the previous all-time high of $3.40. That is some strength. It's not done, folks. It just isn't done. And here's another post from Chart Analyst Zoom, and this is from this morning, 11:11 a.m. Central Time. And he says, as noted, once XRP breaks $3, it targets new all-time highs, with $3.50 as the first key level. XRP closed above $3 2 days ago and hit new all-time highs within 24 hours, but failed to close the daily above $3.50. Reminder, a confirmed break above $3.50 would mean the start of true price discovery. So he thinks $3.50 is key. Now, he's characterizing XRP as getting into price discovery if that happens. Now, that's his subjective way of framing this. I will just tell you that that's an outlier here. As far as I can recall, out of all of the XRP chart analysts that I've seen opine on this topic, I think all the rest of them have said XRP is now in price discovery. So despite having this a little bit of a pullback, because nothing goes up perfectly in a straight line, this is price discovery mode. This is uncharted territory. We've never been here before. So Zoom says subjectively that it will be in price discovery if it hits $3.50, closes above that. That'd be a confirmed break. But everyone else is not characterizing it that way, just to be clear. But everybody's entitled to their opinion of the way they want to frame stuff. It's just a semantics thing, but I wanted to mention it. All right, here's a post from chart analyst XR Punky. There's this post, I've shared this before, from July 12th. What if, just what if, we get an $8 XRP by end of July? And that's before XRP started rocketing, so it seemed less probable to people, I suppose. But now that XRP has hit $3.65 just yesterday, it seems a little more realistic, right? And so he reposted that this morning, and he wrote today, for XRP to reach $8 by end of July, it has to literally jump 34 cents every day for the next 13 days straight, or probably a single 100% God candle to simply send to $8 in one day. Just saying. So please, everybody, hold my hands and pray together for an $8 XRP in 13 days. All right, yeah, so the idea of it going up consistently about 34 cents per day for 13 days, no. And not that he's saying that's going to happen. I'm not saying that he's saying that even, of course. What's more probable is the second scenario that he's proposing here as a possibility, which is a gigantic jump. And that's frequently what happens. When XRP goes, it typically will have like a really big day, kind of consolidate, and then like another really big day if it's truly in bull mode. And I do think you're going to see a lot more action sooner rather than later. Like, frankly, we're not going to have to wait that long. I'm not concerned about this. Here's a post from chart analyst Casey Trades, XRP USD here. She says, XRP enters price discovery, macro targets coming into view. So she is saying price discovery. XRP has made history, breaking through $3.40 for a new all-time high and pushing straight to the 1.618 extension at $3.60. This is massive. That level is a common first stop for a wave 3, and seeing it hit like that gives me even more confidence in our higher macro targets. We're currently hovering right above the old highs, trying to flip $3.40 into support. If we can hold this level and build a base here, things could accelerate fast again. The next fib extension above is at $4.65. Some exchanges at $4.62. The next area of possible resistance. And so, folks, you can see the confidence here. This is going, the chart analysts in the space that have been here for more than 5 seconds, they're all confident. This thing, just give it a little bit of time, it's going to rocket way higher. And this pullback we're seeing here and the little bit of resistance, totally normal. None of them are concerned about it. And then she says, we're seeing some exhaustion and bearish divergence up to 4 hour. So watching $3.40 and $3.20 as potential retracement levels. $3.40 has already been tested once, but even with another pullback, the strength of this move is undeniable. Daily momentum is still hot, and the weekly is just getting started. XRP has been so impressive lately that I wouldn't be surprised to see it completely shrug off bearish signs and keep pushing. Let's see if the support holds. This breakout is not done, okay? And that was from this morning at 8:26 a.m., so not long ago. None of this is concerning. You can see that she's very optimistic that this is going to proceed. And that is what I find from every chart analyst that will talk about this. There's no doubt from chart analysts here. Here's a post from chart analyst Dom, because we were talking about exhaustion from buyers rather than there being like stiff resistance necessarily. Well, that's what Dom thinks. Look at this. So this is a post from just last night, 9:40 p.m. says incredible work by the bulls here, pushing to all-time high, eating all the sell walls. Congrats to everyone who has held this coin for years, years and years. It's been a ride. Binance and Coinbase spot markets stepped up right when they needed to, effectively seeing over 35 million XRP market bought over the last 6 hours. Order books are still pretty clear up to $4, so that's no longer the resistance here. Only slowdown would be buyer exhaustion, and there you go. Because it was a big day yesterday. Let's be like, that was a big ass day. And do you remember how just like weeks ago XRP was $1.93? Yes, good times, simpler times. Well, here we are because life comes at you fast in the world of crypto. That's exactly what happened. But again, I'll just say it one more time. You don't have to wait that long. History is rhyming with itself. As I pointed out yesterday, and it's worth repeating here, XRP had its first major pump in November. It ran basically into January when it hit a new all-time high, and it consolidated mostly through December and early January. But that was the first pump. Then XRP consolidated for about half a year, and now we have begun the second major pump. That is the same thing that happened last cycle, 2020 going into 2021, and it's the same thing that happened the cycle before that, 2017 into 2018. One pump, half a year sideways price action, second pump. Isn't it funny how history's rhyming with itself? The answer is yes. It's fantastic to see. This is not going to stop here. It could not be more obvious. This is ridiculous strength. This is what we've been waiting for. This is price discovery. Melted faces on deck. You better believe that. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.